So I hope that I am a right person to moderate this session. But anyways, moving forward, introducing our panelists, I'll invite Manoj first. And once everyone is here, I'll ask them to introduce themselves. Please, Jay, come here. And Parth, please, you also join the stage. You guys, please start with your introductions, and later on, we can move after Q&A.
Hi, my name is Manoj, founder, owner, player, Velocity Gaming.
Hi, my name is Jay. I'm the co-founder of Orangutan Gaming. We are an esports organization, have rosters in multiple games, and yeah.
Hi everyone, I'm Parth, the founder at Stan. So I've been in the gaming industry from almost 7 years now. Started as a game dev, then moved to building a platform in real money gaming. Now it's all over the news about RMG. And then now with Stan building a fusion of creator economy and gaming. We'll talk about it a little more in depth.
Great. Thanks for the introduction, guys. And coming to our panel question, there has been a general trend in esports industry. Before COVID, there was some esports viewership and there was some crazy following in esports. Later on, as in when COVID happened, people started stay-at-home things. So, how do you see the general trend, before COVID, during COVID, and post-COVID? Is there any correction, markets correct, after all-time high? So, is there any correction which is happening in esports right now in terms of viewership, following, maybe from creator perspective? Is there any follower upside, decline? Maybe you can give a perspective on esports from your organization point of view. And probably you can guide us on what creator economy side of the things. Over to you guys.
Yeah, I'll go ahead. So I think, yeah, esports kind of got the first boom during COVID. I think when everyone was sitting at home and started playing different games and started streaming those games. I think that's when the industry kind of started shaping up and everyone saw the opportunity. Obviously, esports did exist back in the day, but I think a lot more structure came about after COVID, and you saw a lot of different streamers, esports players getting popular through streaming and interacting with their fans on a daily basis. I think that kind of gave a good boom to esports in India, and probably the foundation. I don't think a lot of people talk about pre-COVID esports. Most of the things that have happened have been post-COVID. And obviously, PUBG, when it got banned just around COVID and came back after a year, I think that kind of gave a good boost. Is the market correcting? I think, yeah, because of the bans and the suspensions that the games have gone through, I think on the esports end, we've seen a lot of up and down, a lot of gaps when there was nothing being done. And that has definitely been a tough journey for us as an organization, because just when you were kind of settling and moving things ahead, there was some government issue, and it used to get us back to square zero. And I think those were the times when the market was kind of correcting. Fortunately now, since December 22, when the government kind of made it official that it's going to be a part of the multi-sport category and kind of differentiated esports from your RMG platforms and stuff, I think that kind of gave us a good sign from the government's end. And now I think all the measures that are being taken, all the games coming back, is definitely a good good move for the industry. And I think from now on, hopefully, all the games are here to stay and will keep growing.
Yeah, I think if we talk about pre-COVID, right? Sadly, India got the internet and devices in close to 2016 and 15, right? We were super late. But now, after we have the cheapest internet and access to some smartphones, consumption became like crazy. And I really feel that sadly, COVID had to happen for gaming. I mean, although it was such a big disastrous thing, but for the industry, it shaped up pretty well that we had spikes in the days and nights. Like as a platform as well, we used to see that, I mean, consumption is skyrocketing. Everybody just watching, streams and playing games. And the definition of gaming, esports, and everything getting to, get fused. Everything is esports and everything is gaming during the COVID phase. But like, yeah, like Jay said, that post-COVID, things have settled a little bit. The overall trajectory is definitely growing because the consumer behavior has changed over a period of time. Everybody, I mean, we are consuming gaming content in a far more enhanced manner with it could be anything. I mean, if we talk about just esports, obviously the top 2-3 games come into our mind like BGMI, Free Fire, Valorant, now Counter-Strike as well. But a lot of growth of esports has to happen with consumption, more viewership, more people liking to watch it and getting access to watch it. And then for that, a lot of events have to happen. And like, Jay was telling that games got banned, but things are heading in the right way, I would say, because when industry is shaping up, it's growing. Obviously, there'll be little headwinds on the way, but interestingly, all the government regulations had to happen someday, and slowly, it's like shaping up well for the entire community. The consumption is slightly down as compared to COVID. That's but natural, but the overall trend is quite positive.
I mean, we can also look at it in a global perspective. We just leave out esports. I would say we'll take an example of shipping. So during COVID time, freight rate we have all seen in the news how the freight rates have impacted the inflation across the globe. So and now comparatively, 3 years later, they've come down to a level where it is back in 2018-19. So it's I think gaming is also following the same trend where everything is coming back to what it actually was. So we've seen inflation in everything in terms of money, in terms of spending power, or in terms of viewership for the games. So when because we've technically created some records back in 2020-21 when even for me, because Velocity Gaming is a brainchild that was formed during the COVID time. And we've had some amazing journey during that as well. But now coming to 23, we are back in 2019 level where when is the first time we've kind of entered into esports, seen how the waters were. We had some good times, some bad times. So now is the time I think everyone has to sit down and analyze what actually is sustainable in the long run for the players, for the organizations, for the streaming platforms across the globe. The entire ecosystem has to understand what's sustainable on a long-term level, and come to that and accept it and just go out with it and not think about what happened in the past. In the past we were this, in the past that was that. So there are no benchmarks anymore. So those 3 years of benchmarks have to be forgotten, and you have to start looking at what is realistic going forward.
Yeah, I think that's a very valid point that don't benchmark those amazing aha moments that had happened for everybody and start thinking that I need to touch those numbers and for the overall community, it has to be sustainable. I think that's how businesses have shaped up in all the other categories as well. And sustenance will only come if people don't think short term. That's what we were discussing before the panel as well, that a lot of things in a growing ecosystem or community happens in a manner that everybody starts thinking short term. Let's get this opportunity. Let's charge more to the brands. Let's buy those Mustangs and everything. right? That's what the elephant in the room is, right? Like the player correction. I think that had to happen inevitably, like because you keep inflating things and then you touch the ceiling and then come back. That's how the natural behavior is. And now I'm happy that everybody is talking and building it together. That let's focus on how we can grow sustainably.
Great. I think from what I understood is we had a fall, but it's fortunate that we fall on a trampoline and not on the ground, so we could bounce back. So coming back to next question for Manoj and Jay, as an organization, I've been seeing this journey, which is getting pretty or esports is getting pretty organized since 2019 or 2020, early 2020. So how important do you think is getting things organized? Because earlier I've seen that people build an organization for a day, participate and then break the organization. So how important is it for you as an organization to keep things in place, have proper agreements, proper long-term contracts, so that there is a sense of growth in terms of both organization and players. So how do you see that growing in future, and what are the challenges you face?
I think lot has to also deal with the social issue. Like esports, when I used to play back in 2006, it was a very big challenge for me to convince my parents that I'll be sitting in front of a computer for 12, 16 hours in a time, and we all sit in a room and play against another 5 people. It was it's a social block. Like you are meant to go to school, you are meant to go to college, you are meant to get a degree, a job. So this is your norm. Now, me being in the shoes of an organization, 20 years later or 18 years later, people have started accepting esports as a career, not just the players but also the parents. So it's not as challenging as what it was in the past. Now more so ever, people are honoring the contracts, honoring your commitments, and it's been spoken. It's no longer a secret. You are talking officially, publicly, that you are an esports player or you are a content creator. You are doing something related to gaming. It's not a secret anymore. So that has helped organizations like us, perform the way we have done in the last couple of years. And I think that's how it has to be going forward. If, as Jay was also mentioning, if the norms are set by the government, which are clear cut on paper, that this is how you have to perform as an esports organization, this is how you have to perform if you are a fantasy sports title, this is how you have to perform if you are an RNG or cash related entity. So if that clear cut definition is there, it becomes very easy for us also to mention in our contracts. Like, I give you a simple example. When I go and register a bank account, what do I register as? If you put in as gaming, the only gaming that people know right now are your cash apps. That's the problem. So now everyone thinks that you are creating an app and you are involving cash where public money is involved and you're trying to do something with it. There is no other aspect of it that this is an organization which is purely skill based. There is no luck involved. It's a skill based event or an organization where you are training athletes who are purely earning based on their skill. So now if that clear cut definition happens in the market, people start understanding it, which it's happening, but it has to go even deeper, because now you are in, let's say, generation 1. You still have to deal with some generation 0 people. So explaining them would become a challenge, but I think it's happening slowly. But if it is talked more so ever in your regular conventional media, like, recently, Mumbai had a BGMS event, and there was a huge, crowd issue, crowd controlling issue, just like how you see in a cricketing event, I would say. So there's a huge crowd controlling issue of people trying to get into the stadium. It's filled more than what it was, acceptable at that point of time. So if that comes out in the media and it's spoken about in a regular way, saying this is what has happened for an esports title, then yes, the generation 0 starts understanding it. It becomes easier that way.
I think one of the reasons why Orangutan has succeeded and has at least put ourselves on the map against all these guys was because from day zero we've been very, headstrong in dealing with it very professionally. So our organization, if you see the structure and everything that we've built around, is what is probably makes us stand out compared to all the other organizations where we've kept a structure. There's a marketing team, there's a revenue team, there's a content team, there's a finance team, everything. All the aspects of the business are also being covered. More so, not with all the top organizations, but if you take the majority of the organizations today, you have a general manager of sort who's managing the team also, who's also looking at the finances, who's also trying to do get revenues for the team, and then whatever player salaries and coordination and stuff. So literally doing everything, single-handedly. I think that's not probably the way if you want to grow and if you want to scale up. That's not the way I see different organizations, succeeding. So yeah, I think sooner or later, and I think there's a lot of learning. We also, when we initially started, we saw what other people were doing wrong and tried to rectify that. We saw internationally what was happening, what to take inspiration from and what not to take inspiration from. So I think sooner or later, all the organizations who actually want to build a great business, build a great brand, will have to run it professionally, and it's already happening. I think we are in a much better position 3 years later after COVID than we were back then. So on that end, I think a lot of teams are talking about things. Everything is so openly spoken on social media as well. If a player contract is getting breached, there's like players don't hesitate to speak on social media, or even teams, if something has happened, they put out statements and make it very vocal, and the community should know what's happened. That fear, whether in the organizations end or the players end, is always there. So I think that also helps. And yeah, I think legal and all these things have been, with people breaching sponsorship contracts also. I think you've learned it the hard way, but now things are, getting better.
Thanks for the answers. Moving to the last question for today, I think it has two parts. One is how young people can build their careers in esports. What are the possible opportunities? Apart from creator and esports player, what are the other options they can explore and build their careers in esports? That is one part of it. And second is how creator and the whole current community, I can say esports community, can help shape the future of esports and gaming in India, and what are the responsibilities they have to foresee that the community grows and the young people who are aspiring to be in this industry are motivated and they join it so that it becomes larger and larger year by year. What path you can start with?
So I think Manoj and Jay have covered that aspect around breaching contracts and everything, right? That so wearing the brand hat, because Stan works with almost 500 creators now. These creators have an overlap with being an esports player as well. That's a sad part and good part in the Indian ecosystem, because it's the business lies at this point of time in consumption and not just like playing for the medal, right? I'm so happy that it's progressing in that direction, that it goes in a way that you actually see business towards the medal, not only consumption and creator economy, right? Because if esports players and I also believe personally that esports players and content creators should be a different category. But at this point of time, I think this is a fusion, because there's business in the creator side of it, right? But if I give you a quick insight about how we are seeing things, YouTube ads is the main revenue source for almost all the streamers, content creators, because YouTube has evolved itself as a platform for gaming, right? And with all the market corrections and activity, we are seeing that gamers can not just rely on YouTube for their source of revenue, right? There has to be more and more such avenues where they can survive on and become the next, Virat and Dhoni and everybody, right? Like we start relating esports with cricket because cricket is a beautiful example how cricket has shaped up in the entire, country. And once we see those big streamers, esports players coming out, and that's what has come out in the last couple of years, people start valuing it, right? And I think partly that's also one reason why we had that stadium full of 10,000 people in Mumbai, because fans got created, right, over a period of time. Like when they saw a lot of these guys becoming popular, so popular that they have like 1 million views in the pandemic time, right? So what we are Stan are seeing are lot of these creators are coming to Stan to sort of engage with their gamers, with their fellow creators. There's a long tail of creators who are micro creators who want to grow themselves as the top creators, right? And they are not esports players, by the way. They play for fun. They generate content, and people want to watch them have fun on the live streams. So I think it's a beautiful avenue to set up your shops, set up a way to monetize, make money, and that's where the younger generation is fueling in, because how the trend is heading is we just don't want to watch content. We want to engage with the content. Like what we noticed is a lot of the guys wanted to play with the streamer, right? They just want to join the same match what he's streaming. So we started with that point on Stan, and it's picking up really well. And similarly, like the huge respect to the orgs which you guys are building, right? Because that sort of discipline which we need is something which helps the entire community head in the positive direction. And now the younger generation have started looking at esports player as a profession, and they understand that how the salaries work, how the brand sponsorships work. Now with all the hassle around in the last couple of years, people have started respecting all those contracts and everything, and it's heading in a very good direction. And I see lot of kids as well thinking that, hey, I need to stream. I can make money by generating content. So that's, that's what my 2 cents are.
Even adding to your point as well, when I started Velocity Gaming, I used to address the audience and tell them that I don't have players, I have athletes. Right. We were one of the first organizations to have a mental coach. We were the first, I guess, first organization where I actually paid for their gym fees. So I was promoting, health, medical, mental health, and also in a physical part. It's not just sitting in front of a PC and playing. You are technically playing. If you look at any tournament that's happening, it lasts for what, 8 hours? Yeah. So how do you have that mental and physical fitness to sit and concentrate? Because a round lasts for about 2 minutes, and your moment to shine is only for about 10. Right. You have to focus. You need to have the mental and physical stamina to be there and do that. So, now we should look at them as athletes. Athletes are different from creators. So that has to happen. Even that, players need to understand that. I understand the lifespan is short for a player, but if you look at any athlete, there is a certain time which is more than enough for them to be an influencer going forward. So you have to invest time and resources to build yourself, to build your skill, and then become an influencer down the line. It's not that if I don't do it today, there is no tomorrow. So that short-term mindset has to change, and I see a lot of organizations investing on that aspect and making sure that enough resources are given to the players where they can sit with the coach, they can sit with the analyst. There's a proper management staff. It's not like before that you have 5 players, there are 5 PCs and people are playing. There is a proper structure in place where everything is monitored, statistics are being analyzed, and given back to the players saying that, hey, this is what has happened, this is your performance, this is what you have to review. It was not there in the past. it started happening. It's a very good thing that's happening in the Indian esport ecosystem right now. And this needs to go ahead, and players need to understand that this is all meant for me and I need to utilize this and make sure that it's not just money, but it's also the skill development part, and become a true athlete rather than just being a player for a couple of years and then you are done with it. So that's definitely being done right now, and most of them have started understanding it, and that's the roadmap, I would say, for athletes going forward. And then subsequent transition towards you can become a creator or you can become an influencer or things like that.
Yeah, I think that distinction between esports athletes and content creators is very important, because when you try to do both, you will not succeed in doing either one properly. So I think that's very important, and definitely you are seeing the first crop of talent, retiring from the game. You are seeing how they are moving. Either they are becoming managers, they are becoming content creators, they are starting their own teams. There are a lot of possibilities for players after their retirement as well. But obviously, there needs to be a proper mindset and roadmap. What's happening is even all the players know that it's their careers are very short, and there's not a lot of consistency as well, because with better talent and better crop of esports athletes being generated on the grassroots level, it's becoming very difficult for everyone to compete, and that's when you see the sport actually developing. So I think if the mindset is correct, and if they know that, okay, I need to put in X number of hours doing this, he should focus on that, because I think focus is the key here. When you focus on something for 10 hours, 12 hours, your chances of succeeding are much higher than trying to do both. And even just talking about careers in general, and what are the opportunities for different people out there if you can't make it. Like for us, if you ask us, when we started off, we were struggling to hire people within the esports industry, or people who knew about what esports is. And that was the biggest challenge. Like our initial talent that we hired on the management side were all educated about esports on the job. It was not that they came with 2 years, 3 years of experience. Now we are fortunate to actually have that much time of experience. Even I feel players retiring, if they come on the management side and if they kind of contribute on that end, it's much better than you hiring some MBA or a professional degree person. So I think even that helps. Any sort of experience, aspiring to be an athlete, or you're an athlete and now retiring, and that's what that's some of the things with our players who in the next year or two will retire. That's the future that we at our organization show them. So, and obviously, as I mentioned, on the management side, there are a lot of opportunities, managing the players, on the marketing side, social media, revenue, everything. So I think with the industry developing, and not just for esports teams, but the same goes for tournament organizers, same goes for agencies, and different stakeholders within the business.
Great. Thanks a lot, guys, for your perspective. I mean, I'm sure after this panel, audience will have a lot of questions. So we'll open to audiences for, questions and everything they have. And we'll have a format, introduce yourself, ask a question, and specific, if it is a specific to a panelist, please name them.
Hello, my name is Rishi Lunia. I'm a student, third year. Sorry, I'm a third year student. So it's a general question. Now with the rise of CS2 and everything, for not on the athlete side, but like analytics and coach side, how does a new person enter the industry? Like analyst, coach, or anything, maybe a caster as well. So how do we enter the industry?
Yeah, I mean, for you specifically, or anyone in general as such, now that you have so many platforms that you can utilize to showcase your skill, becomes your resume as such. You can, let's say, casting, for example. mute a existing match and you cast and post it on YouTube, Instagram, and start showcasing your skill. There are multiple platforms where you can showcase your skill set right now. Being an analyst, being a coach. When we were also playing, I had fan base who used to send me strats that Anna, why don't your team use this strat in a heaven map or a different map? Why don't you guys play a different meta? Why are you only playing an existing one? And things like that. So it's not that you have to be associated with a popular organization, only then you get the recognition that's needed. That's no longer the case. That's not what I believe in. There are places, there are existing ecosystems in place where you can directly go ahead and showcase your skill. Yes, in the beginning, your response might be very weak, but that's not what you have to look at it and dishearten yourself, but you have to keep pursuing it. That's the only way you can get good at it.
Yeah, and I think there are so many, grassroots level tournaments, whether it's happening at a college fest or even, scrims taking place. Tournament organizers are always looking for new talents and better talents. I feel casting, and I think that one space is where a lot of improvement can come in. We can take inspiration from what's happening internationally. In fact, casting has also started in different languages. So I think, the opportunity is immense. It's just that you need to be better than the existing ones. And I'm sure, and that comes with hard work and, keep getting better at it event after event. And I think on the coach and analyst side, the game knowledge is very important. And if you don't have that, and if you're trying to use your own, mind to do it, I feel it's a little difficult. So I think if you have some past history of the game and you understand the game well, the opportunities in becoming a coach and analysts are better.
Just one last question. Now that CS2 is coming up, what do you feel like India has any stand here, or like can we grow from here, grow in CS2, like as much as Valorant or like BGMI?
I think PC gaming in general is not growing at the pace it should, and that's been the concern. Your biggest reason is the player base even today is very small. If you see, there are those set of 50 and 100 people only playing Valorant and CS2, or switching from one game to the other. And I think that's been the biggest challenge for a game like CS2 or Valo, not growing at the scale it should. I think the player base for both the games are there in India. If you see at a cafe level or if you see at a grassroots level, there are definitely a lot of players playing. But I think, the investment from, I think Riot is doing a great job in at least, getting players and giving them an opportunity to kind of showcase their skills and talent. But I think, till the player base doesn't grow, like if you compare a mobile game like BGMI or Free Fire, which currently gets a concurrent viewership anywhere from minimum of 60, 70,000 goes up to almost 300,000. Valorant, CS2 barely are touching, like Valo is doing better than CS2, but the average concurrent viewership is around 3,000, 4,000 max, and for CS it's even lesser. So till you don't, it's two different games that you're comparing, and I think India for a long time will be known for its mobile gaming, and that's what will put us on the map. So, but yeah, I think at the same time, PC gaming is something that esports is known for, and if you follow PC gaming, I'm sure you'll enjoy the viewing experience is much better than mobile gaming.
I think the day PC becomes so cheap, right? Like it goes to 5,000, 10,000 bucks, a gaming PC. I don't think it is going to happen because we need to first have more PC players at our home. Then the game grows, then investors start putting in money, people start spending dollars, and then the entire PC community will grow. I mean, all the smartphones which have become super cheap is the reason why mobile is keep on growing every year.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Hello, sir. So first of all, huge fan. Anna, And Jot Gang.
Can you be a bit louder? Place the mic.
Yes. So huge fan, Anna and Jot Gang for. So sir, just wanted to ask how we see PC gaming. A debate is always going on, na? PC gaming and mobile gaming. Another question is that content creators are getting more views than esports players and more viewerships. So how we see and how we tackle those things?
Yeah, I think I said like two aspects, right?
Yes.
Play for the medal, play for fun,
Yes.
right? I think people are coming to know that playing for the medal is also super fun and super engaging. I think it's taking the next steps, like with all the LAN events happening at a huge level, Pragati Madan getting filled and stadiums getting filled in Mumbai, right? But still, it's going to take a while. Content creation happens on the fly, and there's a lot of UGC, like user-generated content, which keeps getting generated every day on YouTube as well, on other platforms as well. And people keep consuming on the fly, and the human behavior has shifted to watching just for few minutes. Then, that has been the trend on YouTube as well. Like I was, talking to YouTube team, and they were saying that the longer duration videos have dropped, and people have moved to watching YouTube Shorts. Now YouTube is taking a step forward and bringing it back to the longer duration, right? So I think it has started touching peak that people just want to watch it for few minutes and just move to the next. And content is where people want to quickly consume, have fun, and go to the next one. I mean, that speed is definitely not comparable to the esports, which is played for medal for professionally. But more and more events which will happen like that will sort of boost that entire ecosystem. But I honestly believe that content creators will, like Anna also said, that players will move to creating content after they retire, right? So it's become like more like an inevitable play that they have to start playing for fun after they retire, right? So it will always be ahead of the professional esports ecosystem.
And I think one more important aspect is, both of the esports athletes and creators have different skill. Esports athletes are not very camera friendly when they
That's true.
actually started playing. They get confident over time when they're actually performing well in the game. You take an example of any sports. Take a Virat Kohli, Sachin Tendulkar. You even take a Jonathan or any other esports athlete who's going to make it big. Right now, you might not know him, or you might not see him on streams and all very often. A lot of people are trying hard to be that, but I think for esports athletes to get the viewership numbers and a fan following, I think it's very, very dependent on the game that they are playing, because that's the focus area. So 1 out of 10, there will be esports athletes who also create good content. But content creators, I think their USP and they are so confident, they are so creative also in making different type of content, the different ideas they are coming up with, and that's their day in, day out. They don't play games for 8 hours. They actually think, ideate, and do all those things. So I think that's a big differentiator between content creators and esports athletes.
The simple answer for you. Why do you watch Jot Gang? You watch us to see, you see us, you watch us because we want us to whiff. You don't want us to clutch. It's as simple as that. That's it. That's what is happening. That's how you enjoy the content.
We have some time for last couple of questions.
Hello, I am Ayur Avata. I'm a student. I want to ask Anna, will VLT be back on esports?
Short answer, yes. Long answer, it'll take some time.
This year?
Don't know. We'll keep you posted.
We can move on to the next question. And we'll take the last one at the back, and then we'll wrap up this session.
Hello everyone. My name is Yuvraj. I'm a small content creator and a gamer. I'm not a hardcore PC gamer, but I want to discuss the challenges and barriers which are faced by the players who are coming to esports. As you all are very fond of gaming and you are the very big players in the esports industry. So I'm a person who belongs to a region in UP only, where esports is not very much being discussed there. But if you're a good player, no matter if you get good specs while playing Valorant or different kind of games, but a main barrier is there when you get to time to get the contacts. For example, you're a good player, you playing Valorant for 18 to 16 hours, and you get those stats in the market. But when you come to join an entity, you find a barrier in finding that a manager you are want to be having, or a social media marketer, or a video editor. So that is a big challenge that players face, and they are being hidden till yet. So how can you guys help to those type of creators?
I think your question is that we are not approachable, is it? Like, like the true talent is hidden, is it?
How can you guys can come to a region and can spread those opportunities?
No, I mean, I can tell you some stats. On Stan as well, we have close to like 350 creators, and out of that, almost 60-65% are tier 2, tier 3 who have just got to know about Stan from their friends or their fellow creators or players, and they just reached out to us with a simple email or a DM. You know, sometimes it gets flooded and we miss it, but I think it's all about you keep on reaching people, you become part of the community, you join any entity, even like an analyst or any role, and that sort of helps you to build your network. And that's not just in gaming, that's across the categories, right? Like if you need to reach people, you enter it in any manner. Some people actually reach to us by just, you know, putting some negative comments on the social media. Right, that's also one way. So play it hard and you know, reach the guy and then figure it out on your own. I think that's what my perspective will be.
I think you need a little bit of luck as well in this. There's too many people reaching out to platforms for recognition and all that. Even we get a lot of DMs saying, I want to become a manager, I want player, please give me a chance. Just give me a device, I'll prove myself. If I don't prove myself, I'll give you the phone back. You know, things like that. It takes a little bit of persuasion, but I would say don't lose hope. It will happen. As long as you're putting in the hard work, results might be delayed, but results are guaranteed. That's what I believe in. That's what I would suggest to everyone.
Thank you. Thank you.
We'll take this last question. This is the last question.
Okay. Is it coming through? Okay. Yeah, so just some context. My name is Dhruv. I'm a tournament organizer, but I organize tournaments for the FGC. So fighting in Street Fighter, that kind of stuff. And I guess coming back to his question over there about, I think he was talking about content creation and stuff like that. My question is, do you think content creation is a good pipeline to get tournament viewership? And would you have any tips on like content creation? Because so far what we've been doing is just been putting out VODs, right? We're just posting full tournaments, but there's not really much else going on with us right now. So I guess that's my question.
No, coming to content creation as such, you have to establish yourself in the content creation space. Why should somebody watch you? That's pretty much it. Like, I give you my example as well. When I stream, we only play as Jot Gang. That's how people identify me. There is no VLT Sentinel, there is no Anna, there is no Manoj, there is nothing like that. You are a player in Jot Gang. That's the reason people are watching you. So that identification, that space has to be created, that creation has to be done by you as a content creator. You cannot be one among the 100. You have to be that 100, but in that 100, you have to create your name for yourself. Because people try to tell me I'm different and all that. Technically, as long as you're playing a game, irrespective of what it is, all the 100 people playing the game are the same. So now comes the point, how do you create yourself a space in those 100 people who are playing and people are easy to identify? Why should somebody watch you? Again, coming back to Parth's point of YouTube coming out with shorts. So short form content will definitely help you in the long run because it's short, it's quick, people can watch. If they like it, then they come into your main channel and do it. That's what everybody is doing right now. That's what is taking off. That's what is helping most of the content creators in India get identified. Because I'm not willing to watch a 3-hour long stream or a 10-minute long montage. I'm willing to watch a 30-second clip. If I like it, yes. If I don't like it, I just move on. So I would say, irrespective of the game you play, create a space for yourself in that and then keep pushing forward. It's a time-taking process. It's not like before, where we have only had 5-6 people doing it. Now we have millions of people playing. So it's a little bit of persuasive work, but that's the only way you can do it.
And I think one quick hack, I was talking to a global, very famous content creator. He was telling me that I keep checking the trends of the platform and what the leadership of the platform is moving towards. Like what is YouTube thinking about in the next quarter for the platform? Like if they want to focus on reels, build more reels. If they want to focus on long form, just build more long form. I think that also gives you a quick hack to sort of grow. If you want to grow on Instagram, just read what Instagram's leadership is talking about and pick that up, become the first mover, and I think it helps a lot. That's what his quick hack was that has helped him.